Hello everyone, welcome back to our radio show Hugs Online, presented by CEI and supported by Erasmus Plus. And today, as always, we're gonna talk about our next topic. And today it is homeschooling versus private or public schools. Well, we can call them traditional, but I wouldn't risk calling this school traditional because when you think about it, homeschooling was way before the schools that we know today were established. So I would actually call homeschooling a traditional way and practice of education. But we will discuss it, and today we'll figure out, or maybe not, who knows, we'll see at the end of our show what is better and what are advantages and disadvantages of homeschooling and of course public schools. Okay, homeschooling, or as it is also called home education, nowadays is getting more and more popular as parents take their kids out of school and want them to be homeschooled by themselves, or they hire private tutors for specific subjects. And actually, before schools that we know today were established, it was like that. In almost throughout history, people were taught at home by their families or some teachers, and it was okay. But then schools were established, and how we know, it's like known for us to like grow up. Like when you're 7 or 6, you go to school. In some countries, even at 5, and then you study for 11 or 12 years. It's okay. For example, when I was a kid, I had two classmates that were homeschooled, but they were homeschooled for the reason that they had some disabilities, like problems with health, and they couldn't attend school like all the other kids. So the teachers always went to their homes to teach them. So, like, I have this opinion in my head, or this picture, that homeschooled kids are those who can't actually attend school for some reasons concerned with health, and not because it was their decision, how it is usually right now. So, girls, how do you like perceive homeschooling? What do you think about it, Yeva?
I also mostly see it as a way for those who can't go to school to study, mostly because in Lithuania that is the law. Because homeschooling is only permitted if you get the permission because of some illness, and then you have to make arrangements with the school, and if they agree, then you can homeschool the kids, and but they have to pass some kind of test once in a while to prove that they gained enough knowledge to pass the grade. And then they get the diploma from the same school that they were supervised by.
Okay, so what you're saying is that if I'm a mom and I'm not satisfied with the education system that the school provides, and I want to homeschool my kid, I can do it.
No, in Lithuania it's illegal to homeschool without a proper reason.
Okay, okay. Andrea, what can you say? How is it in Portugal?
In Portugal, it's legal, but you need to also attend some exams at a certain
Yeah.
point of time, and you should teach according to the
Curriculum.
determined program.
Okay.
And actually, it's interesting what Yeva was saying, because I was searching about it and I had no idea. And there are still a lot of countries where it's illegal
Yeah.
to do homeschooling, and a lot of them are in this area. I was surprised.
What
And
area do you mean?
in the east,
Geographically?
yes, geographically,
Like north,
yes.
no, northern European countries?
Well, so in Sweden it's also illegal, but I was seeing Bosnia, even here in Bulgaria. I saw that it's like that. I don't know if it's the information that I got. It's actual or not.
I actually also checked on that website, and it said that it's legal at all to study in Lithuania, homeschool. But I also read in other sources that it used to be legal actually, which wasn't mentioned in the website, and also that the reason why they changed it so only those who have a proper reason is because the schools actually took advantage of that. And because in Lithuania, public schools get some amount of money for the students that they have, and they used to register some students who went to study abroad as students who are homeschooled, and in that way to gain more money.
So it's all about
So,
politics as well.
yeah,
Just to get money
mostly,
and
yes.
not caring about the education system itself.
Yes, unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was surprised with that. I didn't have that idea.
Yeah, because in Ukraine it's also it is legal, as I know, because on the news I heard that more and more families try to homeschool their kids, but it's they also have to be like registered at some school, and they don't need to attend it, but they need to sometimes pass their exams like standardized or something, because in Ukraine if you want to go to university you have to pass specific tests at the end of your high school, and for that you need like to have specific tests already passed.
Yeah, it's the
But
same.
that's the only
in
reason.
Portugal.
But still, you can establish your own curricula and like topics you want to cover, different subjects. It might be like more than what is taught in school, but still you need to know some basic stuff from school programs. Now, Kata, how is it in Hungary? Do you know?
Yeah, it's also legal, and I think it's more and more common in Hungary because it's very interesting to see that it's mainly conscious parents. I think it's Hungarian situation. Conscious parents start to begin to homeschool, yes, and to teach their kids foreign language. Studying or play the chess, because there is a we have a story about it, because there is a teacher, Hungarian teacher, who had an experiment. He said everyone can be genius, and after that his daughters were born. He played with them. He played the chess with them, and since then they have been the first woman to be among the top 10 in the absolute world champion. So and after that they. All of them very success in the life, because his father deal
Was
with
teaching.
them. Yes,
Was
he's
teaching them.
Yes.
So
yes.
people got inspired by that and started to.
Yes, but it's this story. It was long time ago, and the people said about it. It is not good for kids, because every single day you have to play the chess and such a kid. And the other, so the opposite side, oh, it's very good and very interesting. Yeah, everyone can be genius, and yeah, it's for real. Yeah.
So it generated a mix of opinions. Some people were like, no, the children should be more free and learn other things, and some others, oh yes, that's so good because they
Yeah.
got so many.
But the conclusion, if you want your kid to be a genius, teach them how to play chess.
Well, at least in chess, he will be a genius.
Yeah. Before, girls told that in some countries homeschooling is completely forbidden, it is illegal. And actually, maybe 10 days or 1 week ago, it's completely unrelated to the radio show. I mean, in a way that I was not thinking about doing this topic today when I read the article. But there was an article that in Norway, in one small town, the family decided to take their boy home to be homeschooled because in school he was bullied and mistreated there, and the family were like half Norwegian, half Canadian. So they moved there like some years ago because they had family there. And as their kid was mistreated in school, they reported it. But as they were afraid for the kid's physical and mental health, they decided to take the kid back home to homeschool him. And they told the school about it not only once, a couple of times about it. And after that happened, some authorities like came back to their home and took the kid away, took a custody from the parents because he was homeschooled without no reason. And now there are all these legal processes in court for because parents can't see their son now, like they can see him like once a week or something. So that was very strange, and I have like this question: what do you think? Should the state have such a like control over this situation
Where was this in Norway?
in Norway? Yeah.
Oh, and I thought it was legal homeschooling in Norway. Well, I agree with you. Well, I agree in the sense that I think the state should not have this kind of power.
Yeah, like
That's my opinion. I think the parents can choose if they want to do homeschooling or not. And in this specific situation, there is also a motive. But sometimes we don't get the whole thing in the
Yeah, yeah.
news and the whole information, and we don't know how it happened. But in general, my opinion is that you should have freedom to choose, even the kid. The
Yeah.
kid, depending on the age, of course. Like,
Girls.
I don't know. Well, I think I do agree that in this kind of situation, the parents should have the full right to take the kid out of school and teach them themselves.
Actually, one remark. They didn't take him completely for homeschooling. They decided to take him home for the duration while they won't find a better school for him where he can continue studying. But while they will be searching because it's small town or something and they just moved, they decided like to homeschool him so he will be like busy and studying and yeah, doing something.
Yeah, in that case, I think it is totally reasonable for the parents to do that, because I think it's better for the kid to be at home and study himself than be in school and be bullied.
And what about the state's action?
It, yeah, I think that way they might actually cause him more problems, because now he was even separated from parents, so
Yeah.
he was bullied before, and now he doesn't even have his parents to talk to most of the time. So I think the state is actually causing more problems in this case.
I understand parents, but I understand state. So I
Why?
yeah, because okay, the parents want to do best for their kids. Okay, but the state because now it's the kids stay at home, but later for the kids have to, for example, have to work with other people. So I miss from the story that so for the people, for the kids, I think have to socialize, or I don't know how can I
you
say.
believe that it would be also important for the kid to be
Yeah.
to stay in school, so he could
Yeah.
develop some
Yes,
some
yes, yes,
like
yes.
social
because-
skills and
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah, because later work in a workplace, and you have to cope with different kinds of situation, and stay at home. Yeah, okay, the kids, everything can be learned, but I think will be miss
These coping
this,
strategies
yes,
that the
yes,
kid will not
yes,
be able to
yes, yes,
develop so
yes,
easily.
yes.
Okay, so what Katya is saying that like cons of homeschooling is lack of socializing with the peers, and a lot of people also say that if you're homeschooled, you won't get that much friends. Let's say you won't have communication skills and yeah, won't socialize with other people. But actually, is it true also? Because like homeschooling is, in my opinion, and my subjective opinion, is not just sitting all day home and studying. Homeschooling is just that you uh, study something at home, but still you can go outside and play with kids. Still you can go to dance classes, to tennis classes where you can socialize with other people. It's just that you won't attend school with other kids where a teacher will teach you specific subjects. So I think it's, for me it's not that yeah, it's not a disadvantage.
I agree, and I also think that some people actually hire some even better teachers to teach the kids, so they might actually get better education being at homeschool than being in a school. But also the same thing might you can get a better teacher if you go to a private school also.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is super subjective
Yeah.
and it's super. You can have a lot of opinions because there are a lot of factors on it.
That's true.
And um, I understand. I believe that almost every con is also a pro, because in the sense of the socializing skills, yes, it's true. Your kid can participate in different activities in the community, and nowadays there are so many. And also in some places, he can even participate in some activities in the school, um, even not being
Yeah, that's also
studying
can
there. So all depends on how the homeschool is being organized by the parents, because it could be in so many different ways. I read while I was searching for the show, I read a lot of different opinions of persons that received homeschooling, and some of them hated it, and some of them loved it. Some of them loved it and they want to do that to their child, and some of them loved it, but they don't want to do to their child because it's very difficult to do it in a really good way.
Yeah, I think it also depends on a person or like on a personality, because some people are like organized and like strict about everything, so homeschooling may be best for them because they follow the schedule, they're punctual. And some people need more like creative environment, even though in schools, in some schools or many schools, there is more strict rules, but still it all depends on the person, on the individual.
Yeah, but I'm thinking about it that okay, homeschool it's good, but if I am mother, it's very hard work.
Yes.
So oh my God, so every single day.
That's why not everyone agrees to that, and those who agree either have a lot of money so they can hire good teachers, or are very well organized and know what they want and know what they want to achieve with that, and so they somehow organize their kid for that.
And in my opinion, the best solution that the kids go to school and after the parents deal with their children. So the mixed of the two solution. So it's public school and homeschool because it's both of them important for me.
Yeah, I was also thinking about the society of today, where the parents, a lot of parents, don't even have time to be with the kids, and the kids stay even longer in school, in extra
That's
and
true.
extra and extra activities. So I think as we say, oh yes, even if I had homeschool before, nowadays I think, oh my God, I would never be able to do that because it's really hard and people don't have time. So I think a lot of times that happens. But I actually agree with Kata in the sense that I believe that when the kid is in school, it's easier to develop these coping strategies and teamwork and leadership and I think some skills are it's easier to develop because even if you are in a sports group or other kinds of groups, it's different. This is
It
my
is different.
personal
Yeah,
opinion.
but it's like also, as we said, there are a lot of factors. Because, for example, in schools there are a lot of kids who are unsociable, like who don't communicate with other, and there are a lot of factors why they're like that. It may come from the family also, and those who like won't participate in any teamwork or anything. So it's like it's very complicated topic, and
It is, it is.
so
I was reading one opinion was very interesting, and it was saying, uh, like, pro of homeschooling, you avoid the bullying. Con of homeschooling, there is no bullying because you cannot then
Yeah.
develop. It's not that there is no bullying. That would, of course, we don't want that to happen in schools.
Yeah.
But the lack of opportunities to be with people that have a different opinion of you or different point of view or even a different religion or culture or something like that.
Okay, continuing with our homeschooling topic. Well, as I understand, every one of us have never been homeschooled. We attended public schools. But I have a question. Have you ever had like a tutor for a specific subject? Have you?
Yes, I had in mathematics and mathematics. Yeah, in foreign languages, in German and in English. Yeah, and we have also still have so. Of course, I love them.
What about you girls?
I had for English.
And what were the reasons you had? Like, oh, because you wanted to know more, or the knowledge you received in schools was not enough? Why did you have tutors?
Well, at first I had because I felt like I wasn't good enough in my class, so I wanted just to raise my knowledge because everyone else knew it and I didn't yet. So for that, and later I actually wanted to go to the same teacher because she was quite an old lady, and I just wanted to go to her just to practice my speaking, but unfortunately she didn't want any more students.
Okay, Andrea.
No, I never had any kind of
Oh.
tutoring. Um, it that was quite expensive, and I'm pretty sure my mother would not be unless if I really need it, and I never really needed it. But I remember when I was in high school, um, the teachers in the lunchtime sometimes they or in other extra time they had these support groups where we could go and have some tutoring with other students. Of course we were always going only the week before the test or something like that.
Yeah.
But I remember to go to some of those in maths and maybe in Portuguese or something like that.
Okay, Kata, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, and my father, because when I was a child, and I remember, I couldn't read very well. I didn't like mathematics, and so um, I was a bad student. Yes, and and my father realized that I had a problem with the subjects, and and yes, when I was 9 or 10 years old, he he teached he teached me every single day, or not every single day, but after school, after I went to school, I went to home, come back. My father always. So we learned together. Yeah.
So your father is your teacher. That's cool.
Now I'm thinking about it sometimes when you have older brothers,
Yeah.
they also help a bit, and my brother was helping me with sometimes with my homework or something like that, and I was helping my cousins
Yeah.
after that, and
I have two, but they would help me really, really rarely. Well, first because we have big age difference, so they were in uni when I needed help in something, and secondly, I was a good student, so my mom never even like checked my homework because she knew I would do it and I would do it like correctly. But when I started fifth grade, we started learning English. Like now they started from first to second grade, depends on the school. But when I was in school, it was from fifth.
same for me.
Yeah. And the teacher who was teaching us English was not actually an English teacher. So my mom, as she wanted me to learn foreign languages, because like more than 10 years ago it was like a trend because if you know foreign languages you could find a better job and everything. So she said, okay, we're finding a tutor for you so you can learn English good, because the teacher wouldn't even like show you how to pronounce correctly in English. So that's why I had the first tutor. And in 11th grade, when I was finishing school, I had also for a year. But it was like an old woman. She was a teacher. She taught English and she knew French. But she was like 80 something years old and she was already blind. She lost like from age, because of age. She lost sight. So I was just going to her to speak with her in English so I can like communicate. But also, I had in 11th grade math tutor because when we realized that we need to pass tests to enter the university, and when we opened the books and saw their like all the exercises, all the tests they like provide, we realized that our school education is not enough, so we need to learn more, and that's why I went to math tutor, so he would like teach me more advanced stuff. So that's like why sometimes we need tutors in Ukraine. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's strange why the exams have topics that are
Yeah.
not taught in school.
That's their how to say it. Well, not even disadvantage, but like I don't know. I just lost the word in English. Well, yeah, that's what we need to solve in Ukraine. Okay, and also one thing I wanted to ask you, there is also nowadays a trend, such things as like distance education, when you can just register on some online platform and pass some courses and receive a certificate or something. It's really actually good. For example, if you're a young mother and you have a kid but you can't attend classes all the time, so you can do it from home, just submit some papers, pass some tests. Have you ever passed such kind of have you ever like undergone such education?
No, I haven't, but well, since I'm studying programming, half of my tests are actually in the computer. So some of them we can actually do at home, and we also have to submit some in tests or something in a computer too. On some of them, we have to just go to university and sit in a class to take the same exam on the computer.
Okay.
So, but it's a little similar. So I kind of have a little bit of trying to do it online because everything for my studying is online.
Okay.
I have that experience. Once I did a course on heart psychology. It was totally online. And actually, my master was also online and in presence. And I have to say that it was really hard because it's very interesting. It was the only way I would be able to do this master because I was living in another
Yeah.
city. And but I have colleagues from Brazil and from Luxembourg, and so sometimes we had team and
Workshop or something.
group works to do together,
Yeah.
and we had to uh, see with the difference in time, the time difference in the countries, and but it was interesting, but it was really, really, really hard. You
But
had to
was it
work a
like
lot.
a part of your studying, master studying, this course?
The
This
them
course?
No, this course it was online. It was another course that I did.
It
It
was
was
not
just a
connected with
course.
your studying or anything. You just wanted
I was
it.
working, and I found the course interesting, so
Okay, so
I
it
applied for
just
this
was
work.
your interest. You
Eh,
just okay. I want to pass it, and
I
like
want to do I think this is an interesting course, so I will do it. The
okay,
heart
okay, I
psychology
understand.
and the master the same. I was already working, and I decided, oh, I like this subject for a master degree, so I will go for it.
Okay, Kata.
I don't actually. I don't remember that. I would have kind of story about it.
But now you're learning English by Skype, so we can say that it is a distance education because it's flexible time for you whenever you're free and your teacher and you're learning. So you're you know what it is. I've only once tried it, and I found like an advertisement online. There are like platform like Coursera, and British Council has its own like Iversity also.
Yeah, a lot of universities offer free
Yeah, free
online
courses.
courses. Yes.
And there was one course on human rights, and I'm not a big fan of law. I despised it in school and I didn't like it in uni. But then I found it, and I found like a really interesting like how they promote it, and I said, why not to try it one last time? Maybe I shouldn't give up completely on law. And actually, I liked that course because it was not only these dry texts of laws, like it was about European Convention on Human Rights, and like not only reading it every chapter, what rights we have, how to submit like application if you have like to the court, the procedure of everything. It was also with the cases like explained why is it like that or why is it like that, and it was really interesting. After that, I said, okay, maybe in the future I can even study law. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's really interesting, and I really believe it's a interesting way for you to get knowledge in
Yeah.
very different topics. Even webinars are very interesting. Also, sometimes they are for free, and you can just join and
Yeah, and it's
listen to someone.
flexible. When you
Yeah,
do it when you want, like there are like kind of grades just to measure your like accomplishment, but you can also receive a certificate if you want. Okay, in that course you could receive it if you pay for it, but if you won't pay, it's just for you, like for you to gain some knowledge on
yeah.
the matter, on the
I did
course.
some of those without paying because I
Yeah.
didn't care about the certificate, but you get the
The
knowledge.
same. Yeah, it was just good to get to know something more. Okay, so I think today we're finished with the topic. Of course, if someone has something to add, here.
Well, we could add a lot of things, and we could speak. This topic is
Yeah,
one of
it's
those that we could
unending.
speak a lot of time about it.
Okay, then thank you for listening, everyone. See you or hear you next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Bulgarian time. We're waiting for you. Join us. And for now, bye.